Hi everyone, my name is Natalia. One of the most searched things we get on the internet these days for yoga is for tight hips. So it's something that a lot of us really struggle with. Today's session will be short and sweet, but it will really get into our hips and hopefully give you a bit of relief for the tightness. We'll start straight away, so if you would like to come into a seated position, we want to keep the back nice and tall. And I'd like you to bring the soles of your feet together. So depending on how tight your hips are, you may want to take your feet out a little bit wider so it's less tight on your hips. If you want to go deeper into them, you bring your feet closer to your groin. And I want you to hold the inside of the feet with the thumbs, the outside with your fingers. And we're just going to start to bounce the knees. Now we don't want to do it too soft, we want to get them moving a little bit. When I teach kids yoga, they love this because it's like a butterfly leg. So if you can imagine butterfly wings flapping, really get into them and try and bounce them hard off the floor so you'll feel the movement coming into the hips. Remembering not to round forward, we want a nice tall spine. Okay, just a couple more. Nice deep bounces for 3, 2, 1. Well done. Now keeping the feet exactly where they are, we're going to take a deep breath in and I want you to fold over them now. So you can either hold on to the feet or maybe walk the hands out in front, whatever feels good for you. Now please don't worry, I'm not expecting anybody to get the full head to the toes, but if you are there, that's absolutely fantastic. Just make sure the hips stay glued down to the ground. You can maybe use the elbows to softly push the thighs away. Just a few more breaths here. Okay, slowly lifting the head up. Now we're going to take our left foot in and try and get it to sort of towards the right glute. With the right foot, we'll step it over the knee. Now you've got a couple of options depending on how tight your hips are. You can keep the foot flat to the ground, or if you want it a little bit deeper, we're going to come onto the edge of the foot and stack the knees on top of each other. So this pose is called shoelace. Now what you'll find is that your right hip will want to lift up. I want you to really try your best to keep it down to the ground. If you've got both the sides of the feet, maybe you can hold them, or maybe you can take the hands out in front. Again, we take a breath in, and exhale, fold over our knees. So quite often when we do hip work, it can feel really tight in there and often a little pinching sensation. So rather than scrunching the face or scrunching the body, I want you to really soften and relax into the feeling. The longer we hold the pose, the softer that feeling gets. So just try and stay with it. When the feeling does start to release, maybe fold a little deeper. Couple more breaths. Amazing. Slowly starting to come up. Be gentle when you remove your leg. Sometimes it can feel a little bit tingly. And take them both out wide for this next one. So take your feet about as wide as they'll go. For some of us it's going to look different, but we want them about as wide as they'll go. Taking the hands out in front, deep breath in, and slowly start to fold the body forward. Now, a lot of us really struggle with lower back. If you're here, that's absolutely fine. The more you practice this pose, the deeper you'll go. So eventually we can start to drop the chest, the head, maybe the forearms. You'll feel this in the back of your legs as well. I want you to challenge yourself while you're in this pose, so see if you can keep creeping the fingers forwards. We don't want to cause any pain. A little bit of discomfort is fine. Sinking in. Last deep breath. And start to walk the hands back. Well done. Taking our shoelace to the opposite side now. So draw your right foot in. And then we step our left foot over. Now, please don't assume that both sides of your body are going to be the same, because they're not. One side might be more flexible than the other, and it's really common. So see where you're at as soon as you put the foot over. Maybe this side the foot stays down, or maybe this side we come onto the edge of the foot. Remember, we want that left glute down onto the ground. So find your shoelace, take a deep breath in, and then begin to fold. So we have a stronger leg, we have a more dominant leg that we start to walk on. You'll always find that that one is a little bit tighter. Again, when you feel ready, maybe going a little bit deeper. And then slowly coming back up. Well done. Gently release the legs this time and just windscreen wipe. So for these next couple of poses, we're going to bring it onto our knees. So if you have any issues with the knees, you can maybe take a small blanket, fold over a towel or a cushion. Just make sure that you're comfortable. If you have a yoga mat, you can also fold the yoga mat in half, and that'll make it a little bit more comfortable on the knees. So taking the hands towards the hips, we're going to take a big step forward with our right foot and slowly lean into it. So this is for your hip flexor. This is what's most tight on people. You may feel a little bit wobbly, maybe pushing the hands onto the knees, maybe hands on the hips, whatever feels good for you. But just take it nice and gentle. Keeping the breath really long. If the wobbling is coming too much, maybe tuck the toes under, but if you can, just keeping them released down to the ground. Last 3 breaths. Now bring the fingertips down to the floor. We're going to push the hips back, send the right toes to the sky and bow the head. This is nice for the hamstring. Okay, rolling the body back forward. Shimmy your right foot out to the right. So really give it a little shuffle over and take the hands into the middle. Now this is lizard lunge. This might be enough for you. If your hips are already really tight here, just stay. If you want to come down to the forearms, that's completely fine. Just only go to the degree that you feel you're getting something out of it without putting your body through unnecessary stress. Coach Sean, try not to scrunch your face up. Nice deep breaths. Your breath is like your best friend in these practices. It will get you through if you just use it. Last deep breath. And then pushing into your hands to release. I am going to spin round on my mat while I do the opposite leg, but you can stay exactly where you are. So coming back onto our knees once more. And you can maybe just take a minute to sit down, let the hips settle. We're going to take it onto the other side. Okay, when we're ready, taking a big step forward with your left leg, sinking down. Now this is something that we should be repeatedly doing. You can get your hips and hamstrings into quite a flexible state, but as soon as you stop practicing, the body becomes tight again. This is why I like to keep these videos nice and short. It's something that you can do often without feeling like it's taking up too much of your time. Nice and deep into that hip. It'll start to open when you breathe. One more breath in. Take the fingertips down, send the hips back, point the toes to the sky, drop the head, release through the hamstring. And rolling the body forward. Let's shuffle that left foot out to the side. Hands come to the inside of the left foot for our lizard lunge. And this can be something you can work through. So if this is enough with the hands down, great. Maybe challenging the body to come to the forearms. If it really doesn't feel good, I want you to listen to your body. There's no point in forcing yourself into something that doesn't feel good. Last 2 breaths. Amazing. Pushing back up through the hands. Bringing yourself back down to a nice and comfortable seat. So hopefully the hips feel a little bit more lubricated, a little bit more free. Now you can always pause the video at any point and take the poses a little bit longer if you feel that you would benefit from that. Thank you so much for joining me for the practice. Namaste.